Hello everybody, this is Oak Tree Tarot Reader here and welcome to my pick a card video. So thanks everybody that's been liking my videos, leaving me wonderful comments and even subscribing to my channel. I really do appreciate it. It really means a lot how much support you're giving me while I'm sort of exploring tarot and sharing my knowledge with you, and I'm really just trying to help you as much as I can. And it's really nice when you leave me such lovely comments. Because I know that I'm actually helping you. So thank you, and just thank you for everybody. Even if you don't leave me lovely comments and you don't subscribe to my channel, and even if you don't like my videos, none of that really matters. Just thank you for watching, listening, and hopefully listening to my little bit of wisdom and making your life better for it. I really, just even the idea of it means a lot to me. So thank you. Today I want to do a question. I have sort of done it before, but I felt the need to do it again, which is, why am I not finding love? Because this is a question that I get asked an awful lot as a tarot reader of, can you help me? Why am I just not meeting the one, my soulmate, my twin flame, or why am I just not finding any sort of love? And I think it's just an important question. And I feel that some of you might be asking it yourself, so I've done this video. Now, if you're thinking, I'm just going to title it, why am I not finding love, because I want to leave it quite generalised. But if you are thinking specifically, why am I not finding my soulmate? Why am I not finding my twin flame? Or whatever you want to call that special person that you feel is destined for you, just think of that as the question instead of why am I not finding love. I'm going to leave that open. It's up for you. So we have option 1, option 2 and option 3. I'm going to put the timestamps in the comment section and in the description box. If you check in the description box, you will find everything that you need for the decks that I'm using for my Instagram, for private readings. Everything's in the description box, so just check there. And if you have any other questions, you can always email me on oaktreetarotreader@gmail.com and I will get back to you. So remember that this is a generalised reading, so not every aspect of the reading will resonate with you completely. That's fine. Just take what makes sense, what you realise you can make some use of, and leave the rest aside. That's probably a message meant for one of the other viewers. So I want you now to close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths and relax. Let go of all of your thoughts, any preconceived ideas, any worries, any fears, any concerns, anything. Just let it go and let it float up above your head and put it up towards the ceiling. Just let it float up there. Let it stay. You can fetch it down later. When you feel that you're calm, relaxed and completely empty of all thoughts, then ask yourself the question, why am I not finding love, my soulmate, my twin flame, true love? And when you feel ready, make your choice. Now, if you want a little bit more time to do that, then please press pause. Click on the timestamp and I'll see you there. Okay, those of you that chose option 1, why are you not finding love? So let's divide these. I want these 3 first. This represents what's blocking you from finding love. What's the blockage? This is most likely something within you. 2 of Vessels, attraction. 10 of Stones, home. The Forest, lovers. Okay, so this speaks to me is, I'm going to be honest, overall contentment with life. This is not a bad thing, but basically, for a lot of you, you might not realise it, but a lot of you are actually really happy. We've got the 2 of Vessels, that's attraction. I think there's somebody in your life that you get on with really well. So some of you just have a best friend, and they're your companion, you're their companion, you have fun together, you do social things together, and you're just satisfied on that sort of personal level. Others of you have friends with benefits. And so you're sort of attracted to them. You're sort of having some aspect of yourself fulfilled by another person. So you're sort of not on the prowl for anyone. You're not sort of looking, you're not open and receptive, because in a weird way, you've committed to someone else. You've invested in someone else. Clearly, to me, it's not somebody that you're going to actually have a romantic attachment to, or that you are, you know, attracted to in a romantic sense, or for some of you in a sexual sense. But they satisfy something, you know, that they're your friend. You go out with them, you go to the cinema with them, you go to music concerts with them, you go to see sports with them or something. You know, what's blocking you is there's somebody in your life that's sort of fulfilling that role, but presumably not in the way that you want. And I'm going to say I suspect that a lot of you just don't actually want to be married or anything to this person, because you would have, and you would have found your soulmate or your love of your life. So yeah, there's somebody in your life that's sort of filling that void, so you don't need to look for anyone because they are there. If you're like, no, I definitely don't have somebody that's like that, you're attracted to people perhaps that you can't have. That you are attracted to unobtainable people. You know, that you're attracted to people like movie stars, musicians, people that it's just not going to happen. Oh, this sounds awful, but for most of you, you're just not going to meet that movie star. You're not going to meet that famous person, that celebrity. You're just not. They're going to have their own lives with the people that, you know, the very rare few that it happens for, it's just like 1 in a million. The majority, we're just not. Some of you are going to find that so painful, and I'm sorry that, you know, it's sort of, but trust me. Ten of Stones home. Some of you are just still living at home, maybe. I mean, this is happening more and more, that the older, you know, you get, that you find that people still live at home with their parents because they just can't afford to move out. It's not that they don't want to, they very much want to, but, you know, there's just rent is unaffordable, never mind even trying to buy somewhere. So in a weird way, that just the fact that you're stuck at home is really blocking you. You can look in a different way and say that the blockage is that, you know, you can't take anyone home because you live in your mum and dad's house, or for some of you, it's not that you're living with your parents, it's that you're always at home, so you're just not out meeting people. I mean, this could actually, Two of Vessels just suddenly struck me that if you're the sort of person that likes to stay at home a lot, you might have a pet. You spend a lot of time with your pet. You know, it doesn't have to be another human. I mean, we do have 2 animal heads here. I know which is symbolic and representative of other things, but I'm opening up to a lot of people. I think that's just, you know, some of you are just homebodies. Some of you are stuck living at home, or at least with people that you wouldn't want to bring a new potential partner home with you where you're living. Something to do with home. And generally this means your family, your tribe, you know, your extended family. We also have the forest lovers. So in a weird way, that some of you are not finding love because actually subconsciously, I suspect, because you're consciously asking this question, subconsciously you've made the choice not to. That's the block. Maybe you're unifying your entire self so that you're actually really self-sufficient and happy in yourself. It's, you know, there's a big thing with self-love and feeling whole and complete and being happy, you know, before you can find happiness with somebody else. I feel actually you've established that happiness within yourself. And it's not like diminished your desire to be with someone else because you're asking the question. I think what it's doing is you sort of found that completion and sort of having that contentedness with the self is possibly setting off different signals. But that doesn't mean that you can't find love or that you won't find love. No, it just means that you've had the 2 big cards, you know, the big love cards in tarot, the 2 of Cups and the Lovers, as the block. And this is sort of like the 10 of Pentacles, which is the happy family life. I mean, the other reading is that some of you, why are you not finding love? Some of you are actually in a relationship already. I mean, that's the other answer, is that, you know, some of you, why are you not finding love? Well, you're already married with kids. You know, I wasn't thinking of a question of why, you know, how can I reconnect with my partner? If anybody's interested in me doing like, how can I reconnect with my partner, you know, if your relationship's going in a bad patch, I don't mind, I'll do that as a question, but I would presume that it's single people asking this. But it's almost like that you're content in yourself, you sort of have a happy family life, whatever that means for you, and that perhaps there is somebody in your life that you have a close bond with, and that's sort of blocking it. That, of course, the message is not immediately go off, break off your long-term friendship, start, you know, desperately searching for someone and make, you know, just get yourself to a place where you know, you can't afford to live. None of that's true. This is just saying what's blocking you, and some of you are just going to say, yes, I know. So I have to say, I don't think it's anything, this all speaks to me of external factors influencing your love life rather than internal. And I would normally expect it to come and say, well, there's a big lorry outside. Oh, I'm sorry about that. It's just trying to get through past the cars. Completely disrupting my reading. Yeah, I'm going to have to pause it for a second while this massive lorry is getting close to the house. Okay, a few minutes later, the big lorry disappeared. Right, I was making the point about, I don't feel internally, you know, internally I would expect a journey of someone, you know, like the common examples are not getting over a relationship and you know, previous relationship issues or being absorbed in certain other aspects of your life. But I don't see that with you. So actually take that as a positive, because all it's saying is that if you sort of, instead of hanging around with the same sort of people, started doing things to meet new people and started getting out of the house more and started to, you know, realise that you are a whole person, but that doesn't mean that you can't share your life with somebody else. You'll be fine. You know, really, I really feel that actually there's just not much stopping you, which is good. Take that as a positive. So these cards represent actually what you should, you know, you can be thinking about doing in terms of, you know, finding love, removing this blockage. So we've got Six of Summer, children or childhood, the return of people or romances from your past. Remembering events differently in a better or worse light than how they really occurred. Prince of Summer, romantic, captivating, dramatic, flirtatious, falling in love suddenly, being swept off your feet. The need to stay grounded during a very emotional experience. Six of Autumn, the good you do comes back to you, an unexpected inflow of money. Borrowing wisely or repaying a debt. So what do you need to do? I think what you need to do is look back at your past romantic history and look at it objectively. Because some of you aren't. Maybe that's why you're also single. This could be also equally, because it's attractive. Maybe you're attracted to a certain type of lifestyle. Maybe you're attracted to a view of the past that's not necessarily true, as highlighted by the Six of Summer. You know, the Six of Cups, Six of Summer, is about childhood, about doing things that you know make you happy. So for some of you, it's about just doing things that make you happy, you know, and as long as you're not doing any harm to anyone else, there's nothing wrong with that, and their opinion doesn't matter, you know. Do no harm, and generally you're okay. But there's, you know, I'm really drawn to remembering events differently in a better or worse light than how they really occurred. So I just feel that some of you, and you know, I don't want you to look and remember things better than they were, and I definitely don't want you to look back and remember them worse than they were. I think, you know, it'd be better for you to see certain things objectively. And I am drawn to childhood. So I'm also thinking that maybe some of you sort of being single, maybe because of home, childhood home, that maybe there wasn't a particularly good example of, you know, your parents didn't have a brilliant relationship and it sort of influenced you. And it would. So you're not the bad guy in this. So you know, maybe need to look at the past in a different way. I think as well, you need to loosen up. Be a bit flirtatious, even be a bit dramatic, you know, not to, you know, open up, loosen up, have a bit of fun, relax a bit. You know, there is still the need to stay grounded, so you don't allow yourself to completely derail everything about you. If you're a fairly grounded person, fairly relaxed and sort of mature, you don't need to completely abandon everything that you've ever learned. But I get the feeling here what you need to do is relax about it more. So first thing I would say is don't think and worry and be anxious about falling in love too much. You know, it's almost actually the message, you know, there's another deck of cards, the Romance Angel, I recall, where it says about flirtation and attraction. As you enjoy your life and enjoy your moments and you're not thinking about love, but you're just focusing on being happy, you are more attractive. And I feel actually that's the message here. That you need to just enjoy yourself and be happy with yourself and feel good. And that will open, you know, that's something you can do and will open up further happiness for you on a personal level, which I do feel that you have, but also an extra bit of happiness, you know, that you're fun to be around. Some of you might have been hiding yourself a bit through this. You know, I'm drawn to the fact that there's home and it's like you're stuck in the shelter and you're not going out towards where that big oak tree is. Some of you are just stuck in the house a bit more. I just really feel that some of you are stuck in the house. I understand. Maybe I'm seeing that because I have got, you know, sometimes I recognise I'm just stuck in the house too much. The good you do comes back to you, an unexpected inflow of money, borrowing wisely or repaying a debt. What can you do? I think it's less about the money aspect, because this is a pentacle. You know, the Six of Pentacles, which is what this is, it's about balancing things out, but also the act of giving and receiving. The good you do comes back to you. I feel that you just got to do good. You just got to not, you know, be a good person, be a decent person, be a nice person to be around. And I think that you will be a more attractive. You know, I don't want you to get swamped up in this desperation. I don't want you to come across as desperate. I want you to come across as fun, charming, vivacious, and nice to be around. And you'll be attractive and you've got more opportunities to find love. And I feel that the more that you're nice and you're pleasant to be around and you're good fun, it's going to come back to you that people will invite you out more. You've got to have confidence in yourself overall. You've got to have confidence in yourself. And if you're feeling, no, I don't have that confidence, you've got to develop those skills. You've got to work on that within you. You've got to feel good about yourself and confident. It doesn't mean that you have to be the life and the soul of the party, but you've got to have confidence in who you are as a person. Yeah. I'm just so seeing that you're just not getting out enough. Really, I am. Your sort of lack of opportunity is what's holding you back. Not anything else. And this is good because this is like, you know, you don't need to do in-depth work on yourself. It's a long journey. It's just like get out of the house, then you'll be fine. You'll find the love because you'll start meeting people. So the good bit here, which is what opportunities are just ahead of you for you to find love. These are opportunities to find love. It's not a guarantee that love is coming to you. This is, you know, opportunities. And it's the very near future, the time of you watching this video. So actually I'm going to say around 4 to 6 weeks. I'm thinking more the 4-week mark, but 6 weeks to just extend it a bit further. So a maximum of 6 weeks ahead of you. These are the opportunities for you to find love. So I'm just going to cover these over. The Ten of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, and the Seven of Wands. Okay, so opportunities. There's an opportunity to end something in the next 6 weeks, and with that ending, there comes an opportunity to find love. That doesn't mean an ending of this connection here. For any of you who are thinking, am I going to lose my best friend? No, 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 no. I'm not talking about that. The end of something. And I think this is a conscious decision on your part, that you've come to an end of a thought process. That you've processed a lot of thoughts and words about something. Maybe this is why you've been stuck in the house so much. Some of you might have, something's happening and you just, I've got to stay in. I am actually drawn back to this whole aspect of money. So for some of you, you might not have had any money to go out. You know, you can't buy any new clothes, or you haven't got any money to buy a drink, pay for a meal out with friends or something, or entrance into a club or bar, or tickets to a day out or something. Something's coming to an end, and that's going to free you up for an opportunity. So that ending literally could be anything. Might only be a small ending, but it's going to provide you with an opportunity. I think you've come to the end of a process. Some of you probably do know what ending I'm talking about, that there's an ending of something. But it's a swords, remember, so it's something to do with words and thoughts. So some of you could have been writing something, obviously, or saying something, and then it's like, no, that's over. Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is a student. It's a student card, and this page is putting a coin away in the pocket. And again, I'm drawn again to the unexpected inflow of money. Some of you, if you're having financial difficulties, some of you might find that it eases up, or at the very least, you stop worrying about it. And I would always recommend that, because everybody at some point in their life, and I'm no different, being in a position of some financial difficulty, where I haven't quite had enough to cover what I needed it to. And it taught me that there's no point worrying about it, because you just worry about it twice. You worry about not having enough money, and then you're worried when you don't have enough money. So don't worry about it once rather than twice. It's much better for you. So I feel that actually the opportunity comes in the sense that there might be an improvement in your finances, but it also, I feel, is that the opportunity comes when you decide you're going to go off and learn about something, and this could be something about you. Some of you could be going to school, or going off on a training course for work. But I think generally this is actually the internal journey of you letting something go and ending it and saying, done, time to move on, to learn something now. Pack my bags, make sure I've got my lunch money, and I'm now going to go off and learn something new about me. I think it's about you that you're learning something new. And through that opportunity, I just feel it's like you leaving the house. That's what I want to say. Yeah. 7 of Wands. The opportunity comes when you don't let your fears stop you, when you don't let anxiety stop you, when you don't let your apprehension stop you. It's when you fight your corner. It's a 7 of Wands. It's usually the man who's standing with holding the wands, and there's all the other wands stabbing up towards him. It's all about you standing your ground, and I feel it's standing your ground with yourself. I have to do that, where I'm like, I'm scared, I don't want to do it, I'm nervous, I don't want to do it. And I say to myself, Oak Tree, you have to. I don't say Oak Tree, I say my actual name, but you know what I mean. I have to do it because I don't want to live in a state of fear or inhibition with the things that I feel I should be articulating about myself. I might wait and learn more before I come out and say the final thing. Like, for instance, I didn't do tarot readings when I got my very first deck. I, in essence, played around with them and explored them for quite a while before I knew I was ready to start doing readings for other people. So, you know, and the Pentacles is a slow moving card, so you don't need to rush into anything that you're intimidated by or anxious by. You can just sort of slowly take it in steps. You know, you've got to stay grounded during a very emotional experience. You've got to ground yourself in the Pentacles energy. You know, you've got to ground yourself with, I'm beside myself, but if I just take a few deep breaths, calm myself down, do whatever that's your relaxation tool, and then I'll be ready to move on. It's not giving up. And that's what's going to give you the opportunities to find love. So it's almost like if you meet someone and you're like, oh my God, it's been so long since I've been in a relationship, or I'm so scared that I'm going to repeat old patterns or whatever. Some of you, it could be your first relationship. And it's scary, but if you stand your ground and say, no, I'm going to stick with it, I'm not going to allow myself to miss out on this opportunity for love, which is what I want, you will get what you deserve. So those of you that chose option 1, that's your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want a private reading with me on this subject or any others, you can contact me on oaktreetarotreader@gmail.com. All the information you need is in the description box, so have a look there first. Otherwise, please take very good care of yourself. I wish you all the best of luck for the future. Thank you very much for listening to me, and goodbye. Hello, those of you that chose option 2, this is your reading. So why are you not finding love? These 3 cards represent the block, what's blocking you. So we've got 9 of Arrows, dedication. We have 7 of Arrows, insecurity. And we have the Green Man. So what's blocking you, I mean, the obvious one to hone into is insecurity. So you're just feeling a bit insecure about yourself. This is just a common human condition, feeling insecure, feeling unlovable, feeling physically unacceptable. You know, some of you look and think that you're ugly. Just looking at this lady, you know, she's got such immense growth on her. She's covered in vegetation, which is representative of abundance. So it's not that you are unattractive. I bet you're not. I bet you actually are really attractive. And remember, there's always going to be someone that you are physically unappealing to, but there will be others that really fancy the pants off you. And you know, and our external looks change as we age and get older. We're all going to eventually lose our good looks. It's just inevitable. You know, if you reach old age, you're just not going to look the same when you were 20. Ask your nan and granddad, look at their old photos. So don't focus too much on the external. But it's not about what you look like that really attracts people. Superficially, for a moment, yeah, it's how you look. But what really keeps people, you know, that leads to love, true love, the type that I imagine that you're all looking for, is how you make them feel. And this is why confident people, that regardless of how they look, but when they're happy, they're funny, they're nice to you, they make you feel good, are so attractive and have long, stable relationships, because they're not focused on what they look like, but on the truth of the relationship and how they feel within the relationship and how their partner feels in the relationship. They invest in it. So if you're feeling insecure because you're thinking, I don't look like a model on TV, you're sort of sabotaging yourself, because a pair of kind eyes and a nice smile, you know, people are not going to be looking to see what size jeans you're wearing. The 9 of Arrows, dedication. I actually feel that for a lot of you, you're not actively looking. I got the impression with number 1 that they were, you know, there's no actual searching. It's almost, I feel that with this one, in this card, this dedication, is that you're waiting for it to come to you. And I'm wondering what the other cards are going to show me, but I almost feel like you always have to get yourself out there. You got to be somewhere where people can meet you and find you. You know, so if you're getting out there and socialising, brilliant, that's exactly the right thing to do. But I feel that there's a dedication to something, and this is what's blocking you. So some of you are working very hard. You're working very long hours. And so even if you manage to get out to the pub, the club, or wherever, you know, you want to go to meet people, you're just shattered, you're cream crackered, you're just done in. So you're not at your best. Some of you are dedicated to something else that's not to do with work. So maybe you're dedicated to meeting a certain type of person, or you're dedicated to the process of romance going a certain way. You know, like maybe you want a really traditional relationship and a traditional courting. And you're probably not going to get it, maybe. Or that you're missing out on other opportunities for love because you're thinking it's going to go a certain way, you know, like expecting things to go in a storybook way. Whereas sometimes you just got to meet someone you like, have a bit of chemistry, decide that you want to spend a bit more time together to see if you really do like each other enough for a relationship. And then when it turns out that, yes, you do like most of them, or you feel that you can deal with the parts of them that you don't like and that they can do the same, then you tend to have a dedicated relationship. But there's just everything about this girl is distracted. So I just feel that a lot of you are not really actually focused on it, or at least you're not focused on it. You think you're focused, but actually maybe you're not. And some of you are just flinging yourself out there randomly at people, you know, like you're the arrow flinging yourself out, and it's just all, you're not meeting the right type of people. It's almost like you're flinging out the arrows and then hitting yourself with them. Because it's almost like she's flung out all those arrows there, and this 7 of arrows is there like, they're landing in me, stop. So self-sabotage springs to mind here. It almost makes me want to say this line, and I don't think that's actually true for a lot of people. It's just sort of, you think this is going to make you attractive, but then you think it doesn't really actually reflect who you really are as a person. Do you know what I mean? Like when we wear fashion and we think, I'm wearing these high heels to go out, or wear it if you're a gentleman watching, you're wearing particular clothes that you don't feel necessarily comfortable in, but you think, oh, I look good in them. And you're spending the night in a pair of shoes that are too tight, or if you're a lady, too high, wearing lots of makeup, and you might not necessarily choose to do that. Whereas it's sort of like you're dedicating to something that's hurting yourself. It's the things that you tell yourself aren't helping you. So I think that's blocking you as well. So there might be a bit of not seeing yourself as you really are. Now we've got the Green Man, and this is just really, I think really this just speaks to me as one thing only. I've been there thinking, well, what else could it mean? What else could it mean? But I actually think it just means one thing, is that what's blocking you from love is you want it all your own way. It's the Emperor card. The Emperor wants it all his own way. He's in charge. Everything's fine as long as you do things the way the Emperor wants them to be. But the moment you go against it, woe betide you, no. I think that you like to be the boss and you like it all your own way. It's like you don't have to give up anything, but they have to transform their lives to be with you. And that's blocking you, because very few people are willing to do that. And if they do, it doesn't last, because nobody can consistently sacrifice all aspects of themselves to please the other person. At some point, you have to return the favour. And I just feel with this is that a lot of you aren't willing to return the favour. You know, you're the more important person. You're the dominant person in the relationship or in the love. You want it on your terms. And this is sort of resonated again with these two, which is that you expect it to be a certain way. And for a lot of you, it's just not going to be a certain way, you know. You meet with somebody else, they have their lives, their opinions, their experiences, their needs and their wants, and you have to accommodate them. I don't know, maybe you've had a few bad relationships where you were very accommodating and you got very badly hurt, but that doesn't mean that all of your relationships will be like that. And you're clearly looking for love, and you're sort of almost in a way, I think, sabotaging it, because you're like, well, before I gave way and I did things that didn't feel right because I wanted to be with them and be happy, and I ended up really hurt. So I'm not doing that again. But you're sort of destroying potential love, or love, not for the same reason, but for a different reason. You've sort of gone too far the other way. But that's all I see with the green man, is you're trying to create your own potion. You're trying to create your own perfect romance, but there's no perfect relationship or romance. It's just making the best of a situation with another person because you both want it to work. Okay, we're going to move on from that. 2, what you can be doing to find love. This is what action you can be taking. 7 of Spring, be assertive, don't back down from what you believe. Courageously stand up for yourself. Completely criticising what I just said about the green man. 5 of Autumn, reach out to others for assistance. Poor timing for a career change. Feeling challenged by money issues. 10 of Summer, an emotionally fulfilling life with family or friends. Raising children wisely. People you can trust. Okay. So let's reevaluate the green man based on this extra information, because for some of you, it's not about having it all your own way, or at least you might acknowledge that, yes, you do want it your own way, that you feel that you have a lot to risk. Because I'm going to reevaluate it, because I've got this information about career change and money issues, that some of you might just be focusing far too much on your career. Because the green man, the Emperor, is an empowered person, a person that's in control. This is why I'm saying you want it to all be on your terms, your control. But there's something else then that you're trying to control, and it might be your job. So some of you might be, the dedication might be to your job, your leadership. So if you've got your own little business, you're self-employed or whatever, you've got people that you're responsible for because you're a manager, you're focusing too much on that. And that's blocking love, because you haven't got any space in your life for love. So what you've got to do is you've got to, first of all, stand up for yourself. So no, you don't have to let anybody walk all over you. So some of you might have issues between not actually standing up for yourself. We do have someone here that looks very passive. It's the word is dedication, but I said she looks so passive, and this person looks so passive. They're just standing there like, oh, the arrows are hitting me. Oh my God, what am I going to do? So it's almost like in in the love aspect of your life, you just sort of let things happen, and the cards are saying no. So like if you do want to meet somebody and start settling down, and I feel having children, I do feel for some of you want to get married and have kids and have a family life, is don't give up on it. You have every right to a happy life and a good love relationship and a happy life, but you got to work for it just as much as your partner does. And this is where the reach out for assistance is. I mean, this is talking about economic assistance because it's the 5 of Pentacles. So for some of you, maybe you're working too long hours because you're just getting paid rubbish money. It might be time to start looking for a new job. If you're like struggling bill to bill, it's time to think differently. Others of you, it's you're constantly worrying about money, and you've got to try and stop that. You might not be as financially poorly off as you believe you are. I know it says poor timing for a career change, but actually some of you do need to do that to have a career change. Doesn't mean do it tomorrow. Some of you need to think through it, plan through it, and eventually change your career, like next year even. It could be a case of changing the if you work for a big company, changing the location, changing the people you work for, or work for you. But I definitely feel there's a reach out to others for assistance. So if you feel that you're this isolated person that can't see objectively why things are happening, there are people around you, you know, family, friends, and all the rest of it. Or, you know, for some of you, you might want to see a therapist or something. Someone that you can talk things through in order maybe to get their objectivity on it. And some of you are just, no, I don't want to listen to anybody else's opinion, but maybe now's the time. This is why you're not finding love, because it's all about from your perspective. You've got to turn to people you can trust. What you've got to do, you've got to aim for this fulfilling life. This is it. Be assertive for that life, the life that you want. You want to find love, you can find love. You can find love. I nearly knocked my cup over then. Elbowed it off the table. There's something else there. Maybe this will help me. There's something else here that you need to see, but I'm not touching at it, and I suspect it's because I need to see these. So these 3 cards here represent opportunities for you to find love. And this is over the next 6 weeks. 4 to 6 weeks, no longer than that. And from the time of you watching the video. So we have Ace of Cups. Beautiful. The Sun. Oh, this is looking promising. The Devil. Okay then. I think I'm getting there in my mind. Let's go over these cards. Ace of Cups. You're going to have the opportunity to do something in the next 6 weeks in the near future that really, you love it. It makes your heart sing. It makes you feel emotionally abundant. You know, for some of you, you could discover something that will bring those things in because it's new love. Your cup runneth over. It's emotional for you. Makes you happy. And you're going to have that opportunity. I'm going to say, like, oh yeah, you're going to have the opportunity to fall in love. I think it's just going to be something that really makes you happy. It's just that moment of utter joy, and it's simple joy. It's not complicated. It's just there, and it just gonna, you're just like a cauldron bubbling over. And for each of you, that will be something different that makes you really happy. I mean, if you're a workaholic, you might be something to do with your career. If it's not something to do with your career, or I'm going to say, because we've got the Devil card there as well, that it might almost be something that you think might be terrible, but actually it turns out to be good. You know, like the silver lining. You know, it's, you know, when something really, like, you don't get the job, for instance, you don't get the job, and you're like, no, I haven't got the job. And then a bit later on, something happens, and it turns out that you're now available for a much better job. You know, the second job pays more, the hours are better, you travel less, it's closer to home. And you're like, oh my God, if I'd have got that first job and taken it, I would never have had the opportunity for the second job. It's almost like that, I feel, because of the combination of cards. Sun, beautiful, happiness, positivity, abundance, freedom, allowing you to shine. There's something where you are seen, visibly seen, that you love, and it makes you feel so good. And it makes you feel so abundant. And through this is the opportunity to find love. Now, for some of you, you're thinking, well, am I going to meet somebody at this place? Possibly, but it could also be that through this opportunity, you know, I'm trying to think. It's like going to a party, and you're like, party, because you're the life and soul, you get to meet everybody, everybody's paying attention to you, wonderful. And your cup's flowing over because you're with all your mates. And at this party, someone says, oh, did I tell you about this new friend I made? I think you'd really like them. You know, they're not here, but you know, when we're all going off to that so-and-so party, they're going to be there then, and I'm going to introduce you because I think you'll love them. And then maybe this person could be potential love for you. So I don't feel that it's, you know, some of you are going to meet somebody somewhere and it's just, yeah, this is wonderful and exciting. But it could be something that you just hear about them. Because we've got the devil, and this is why I'm saying party, because the devil obviously, you know, it does represent drinking, getting up to mischief, having lots of fun, as well as other things. I mean, the obvious thing is addiction. So I almost want to say, if some of you do charity work, there's something to do with the charity work that could lead you to further to meeting a potential love. Finding love, because I'm not going to say become an addict and that'll find you. That's a terrible, stupid thing to say. But you know, if some of you need to come off an addiction to something, by doing that, it will, you know, lead to a potential love, because you're going to be in a better place to find love because you'll be free of an addiction. The devil card, it's telling me something. You got to loosen up. That's what it's telling. That's what it's telling. I mean, traditionally, the devil card was not seen necessarily as an entirely negative thing. It's representative of the times where we just let loose. We just, you know, it's this bacchanalian sort of puck type figure that's just a bit, you know, I'm going to drink all this wine. I'm going to lie back on this chaise longue and eat all the grapes. It's a hedonism. And that's why I'm drawn to party. And I think it's a party that maybe you host, or at the least you are seen at. It's a public type thing, and you might meet someone at that place, at that venue, or something that goes on there will lead on to meeting someone. And I think this is what you need to do. So maybe at this party, you reach out to others for assistance. You maybe say, you know, I'm trying to meet someone. And they say, oh my God, you know. It might be a family event. But you absolutely must be fulfilled emotionally in aspects of your life and not be constantly yearning to meet someone. Don't allow it to distract you from leading a happy life. Yeah, that's it. You can have a happy life. You can have that sun moment and find happiness in your friends and family and in your individual achievements. And that's your reading. That's it. That's your reading, those of you that chose option 2. So please like, comment and subscribe as you so desire. I really wish you all the best of luck for the future. Please take very good care of yourself. If you want to book a private reading with me, you can. All my information's in the description box, and you can email me on oaktreetarotreader@gmail.com. I'll get back to you. So thank you very much for listening to me, and goodbye. Okay, those of you that chose option 3, this is your reading. Right, so this is what's blocking you from finding love. This is what's the stop. So we've got 8 of Bows, which is hearth fire. The balance. And the Wheel. Okay, so things are changing in your life, and at the moment, so it's almost like there's other things that you must be getting on with before you can be in a position to find love. So hearth fire, this is like your tribe, it's your family, spending time with your tribe or your family. So for some of you, you might think, oh, I've been worried that the people I hang around with, it sort of stops me from finding the love that I want. But others of you, it's just that you're really happy within your tribe. It's about finding contentment and comfort with your friends and your family. But maybe just they're not conducive to you finding the right sort of person, you know, that you're content with them and happy with them, but by being with them, you're not open to meeting someone new. It's almost like that maybe somebody that wouldn't necessarily fit into that group is a sort of person that you know, maybe you just need to meet somebody different, I think is what I'm trying to articulate. Is it might be that you just need to meet somebody outside of this group and they will be more compatible with you than the people that you're currently meeting. I think that you're trying to balance things in your life. Balance things literally as in, yeah, you trying to, you know, the work-home life balance. But also maybe balance two things within you, like what you've got and what you want. Trying to balance how you live your life with how you want to live your life, you know? Trying to balance the person that's shy and insecure with the person that actually really feels that confident and worthy of love, because you can feel those two things simultaneously. You can be super confident in your job and not with the opposite sex, or the same sex if that's what you want. So yeah, you're trying to balance things out, and this is blocking you because it almost feels like you're sort of feeling your way with who you're hanging around with, who you are, what you stand for, you know, where you are in your community, where you are with, you know, your family and the people you work with, and it's like you're focusing on those. And it's that change that's blocking you. We've got the wheel. It's the Wheel of Fortune. Things are changing. I just want to say quite simply, it's not the right time for you at the moment. There's other things going on, and that's why you're not finding love. If you're thinking, but I've been like this for years, it's clearly taking a long time for you. Things need to change in order for you to find love. So whatever's going on for you at the moment, whatever, you know, you're thinking is stopping you, whatever you know is stopping you, it's time to change it. You've got to balance things out in your life. And I think that you either are or you're not. There's a really clear message there. Sometimes I read more in cards, you know. But that combination is that what's blocking you is that things need to change, and they're probably not. So I mean, that's the first thing to look at in your life. Things probably, you know, are needing to be balanced out, or that you're focusing on balancing them out. So these three cards represent what you need to do, which I think in your case it's better for us to move on and get on and look at these, spend more time on these three. Four of Summer, being distracted and failing to see a magical opportunity, taking someone or something for granted, discontentment with life. Don't panic, it's not telling you to be unhappy with life. Three of Autumn, follow your passion when it comes to your career. Be the best at what you do, being compensated for your creative talents. That's living the dream. Queen of Summer, loving, comforting, emotional and intuitive. Listen to your heart. Intuitive insights you can trust. Taking care of others, perhaps too much. So what do you need to do? We've got 2 cups, so you need to focus on your emotions. Definitely. We've got 1 pentacle, 2 cups. Summer's the cups. What you need to do, I feel, is deal with this discontentment with life. I said I sensed that there was a discontentment, that there was something going on there that didn't seem to match up. And I think you need to take time away to think about it. The 4 of Cups is usually the person that's sitting there with, you know, the cup above them and the spilt cups in front of them. You need to take time away and really evaluate these things. And maybe that's why, you know, if you've been thinking this is a long-going issue, is you haven't really taken time out to be, you know, alone with this situation and really ponder on it and really process it. Some of you, I think, have taken for granted the idea that love will come to you, and I think love's just something that will happen. And for some people, that love is so easy that they just meet the right person really early on in life and then they're happy and they're married for 60 years. But actually, for most people, that doesn't happen. Some people don't meet the love of their life till they're way in their 40s or even 50s. They don't meet the right person to be with. It doesn't devalue all their previous relationships. But for some people, they're just older when it happens. The important thing to remember is that the true thing is that it happens at all, not when it happens, but that it happens. So I just feel that some of you are sort of really distracted and not seeing things clearly, and you need to start doing that. And some of you really are taking something in your life for granted, and you need to start valuing it. You know, some of you might be focusing too much on love and not on the other things. Maybe that's what you're trying to balance out. I think for you, the message is following your passion more than anything else. The Three of Autumn is the Three of Pentacles. You've got to collaborate with somebody. You've got to collaborate. It's a card of collaboration, about creating, about making something real, tangible. So you need to start making tangible what you want. You want love. How are you going to meet somebody to find love? How are you going to find the right person? What's been going wrong in the past? What's going on with this Eight of Bows Hearthfire situation? It's your tribe. It's the people you align yourself with. It's not necessarily your family. It's the people that feel like family to you. It's not your mum and dad, your brothers and sisters, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles. It's not that. It's the people to you that you say they're my brothers and my sisters, but there's no genetic link. So, Queen of Summer. You need to start trusting your own intuition. You need to particularly start trusting your own feelings on this, because a lot of you are denying feelings in some way. So there's like something that you know about yourself or about your situation. And again, I'm drawn to the tribe part. And you're denying it. You're trying to balance things out, but you can't, because you're not giving yourself the whole truth. And when you do, I think things will be a lot easier for you. I almost feel that the block to finding love will just dissolve. That, you know, why you're not finding love? You're not really talking to yourself. It's speaking in the truth. I suspect there's a lot of people pleasing, you know, going along with the crowd, not wanting to rock the boat, but you have to. You know, at the point where you really have to start thinking of yourself and for yourself. Yeah. Oh, sorry, it hasn't like broken or anything. You're probably thinking, has my internet connection gone? I was just such in deep thought then. You are definitely not trusting your intuition. You've got to. Your intuition is a mixture of life experience, your emotions, your knowledge, all mingled up together to give you a super fast response. It's your mind and your soul combining to give you the speediest information you possibly could have. It's like knowing the answer of 2 + 2 = 4. You didn't have to work it out, you just knew it because you've been there, done that many times. There's something you know and you're denying it, and this is why you're blocked in love. And to be fair, it could be anything because it's such a generalised reading. So these 3 cards, bit of nice news, represent what opportunities are coming towards you over the next 6 weeks to find love. You know, 6 weeks from you watching this video. What opportunities? Oh, Wheel of Fortune. You're going to move the wheel. You're going to move it. You're going to, you know, it said what's blocking you is the wheel. And I got the impression that the wheel wasn't moving, and that was a point because it's on a... My logic behind this is that the wheel here is just an emblem on a woolen shirt that's being woven on the weaving loom, it's stagnant. You can't actually move that wheel. It's stuck. It's, you know, knitted onto the frame. That one is moving, and it's cutting out the things it doesn't need on the way. It's just spinning around and around. It's moving. You're not going to be able to spin that wheel around no matter how hard you try. You're going to have to move the entire loom, dig it out, move it around. Lots of effort. It was stagnant. This is a moving wheel. So over the next 6 weeks, I suspect you are going to be getting on the wheel and giving it a big shove. You're going to move it around. You're going to come to this sort of realization about something. You're giving yourself the time, and you're going to start moving things forward. Queen of Pentacles, and you're going to start nurturing something in your life and start to encourage it to grow and develop. The Queen of Pentacles is the provider. She's the grounded provider. She's the mom that, she loves you. She wants you to keep you safe. She keeps things stable. She provides a safe, secure home. It's the grounded mom that will give you sandwiches. That doesn't mean that she's not passionate about things and fiery. It doesn't mean that she's not sensitive and emotional. She is. But above all, she understands the importance of providing a safe, stable foundation. And she's literally going to deal with the crops. So you're going to get the opportunity to grow something. And this might be a connection with someone. For some of you, there's a connection that you want to nurture. And I feel that there's a decision to nurture it. And it doesn't have to be speedy. If you find that worrying, it's a pentacle, it's slow moving. The Queen of Pentacles will not be rushed if she doesn't want to be rushed. She's going to go and do it in her own sweet time. Mum, when's dinner done? When it's ready. When will it be ready? When it's done. That kind of mum. And that doesn't mean that you are a mum, or that, I know men watch my videos. It doesn't mean that you need to have a maternal energy. What it's saying is, it's the knowledge that it will be done when it's done. And you're fine with that. And that's so lovely to see. So lovely to see, because I just get confusion ridden through this reading for a lot of you. Strength. You're going to get the opportunity to be strong. I mean, I'm reading this as actually, if there's already somebody you like, you're going to pluck up the guts to do something about it over the next 6 weeks. And you're going to be strong about it. This dragon represents our fears, our inhibitions, our the voice that says no, you're not good enough, you're not attractive enough. No, it's our insecurities. It's us controlling the negatives in our life in order to be able to move forward. And over the next 6 weeks, you're going to get to do that. So if you like someone, I feel that you're going to have the courage to speak to them, talk to them. Maybe some of you will ask them out. And it's the idea that it will be a stable foundation that will grow. If there's nobody that you fancy, that you're interested in, over the next 6 weeks, you're going to get the opportunity to move into this mindset. That you're going to get the opportunity to move forward and be brave and hit the dating scene. So, those of you that chose option 3, that's your reading. Please like, comment and subscribe as you want. If you want a private reading with me, excuse me, then you can email me on Oak Tree Tarot Reader. Have a look in the description box. Have a read of that and then send me an email. I will get back to you. Otherwise, I wish you all the best of luck for the future. Please take very good care of yourself. Thank you very much for listening to me, and goodbye.